And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to the Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 572. I'm King.
And I'm Bitcoin Zay. And we are here to bridge the gap between cryptocurrency and the community Monday through Friday at 10ish.
10ish. And today's top stories, as mentioned yesterday by some of our crypto warriors, PayPal and Venmo to roll out crypto buying and selling. Sources say PayPal is hiring crypto engineers amid rumors of Bitcoin integration. Liberty X allows Bitcoin purchases in cash at 7-Eleven, CVS, and Rite Aid. Is Ethereum price on course to $300 as DeFi coins skyrocket? It does nothing. Buy Bitcoin, don't protest, says Max Keiser. And last but not least, 5 surprising facts from the Gavin Andresen Soren deposition. But first and foremost, as always, let's go ahead and check out those prices on the day.
Oh, yeah. So, Bitcoin is one of the only coins that's up today. You got a mixture of green and red at $9,659, up 1% today. Ethereum at $244, down 0.2%, not much. Ripple still stuck at 19 cents, hasn't done anything. It's flat. Bcash at $243 is up 1%. Litecoin at $44 is down 0.2%, and EOS down 0.3% is at $2.57. So a mixture of green and red, not much to care about. However, Bitcoin being this flat for this long is actually pretty good. We haven't had this low volatility since we were in the 2000s. So yeah, pretty steady across the board. So when people talk about volatility, you can show them the chart for the last 3 months.
Right, exactly.
It's literally been going sideways.
And I mean, when you talk about Ripple, it's crazy that Ripple's actually at this 18 cent, 19 cent mark and has been sitting there because it had been sitting at the 25 cent mark for the longest. If you all remember, before the quarantine, when we were doing shows of the first 3 months of the year, if I remember correctly, Ripple was at 25 cents. So again, I'm about to have a brain fry here, so help me with the words. What happens when things are inflated, overpriced? Is it overbought or oversold? Which one am I thinking?
Overbought.
Yeah. So
don't FOMO into it.
Right. Most coins are overbought, people. Again, these are the new lows. I get it. 2020 is different. It's not 2017, 2016. Prices have been inflated, but these are still all overbought prices. That's what you have to remember. So I say that because anything can happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin starts to go up and we see some of these prices. I'm talking about Ripple, and that goes up 30, 40 cents. Or back to a couple of dollars like it used to, right? But also, I would not be surprised if this thing continues to drop throughout the rest of the year until it hits like a 10 cent mark. Because you remember, Ripple's value is based off of the fact that financial institutions and governments weren't already using blockchain technology. Now that they're starting to implement it, we talked about China yesterday. The U.S. wants its FedNow coin. Daddy Giancarlo, crypto daddy Giancarlo is working on a digital dollar, right? As this stuff starts to make more news and more waves, expect to see Ripple start doing worse. And it'll be one of those things where you're going to ask yourself how and why, and that's why. So again, I still think it's a tradable asset, but I just wanted to point that out that it has been sitting at that 18 cent mark, which is kind of new for it because, again, it was at that 25 cent mark for a while as well. So something to pay attention to. What's going on? Dwayne Samuel, the game I peep, Dexter Hand Sr., Clove 71. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. Lucky Lloyd.
Lucky Lloyd.
Who else we got? There we go. Everybody up in here. Hello. Let's see. This caught me on guard, right? PayPal, Venmo to roll out crypto buying and selling, says sources. As I told Bitcoin today when I saw this story earlier, this frustrates me. I'm happy to see it.
This is hilarious.
But it frustrates me. People, the reason why we don't like, or I personally, I'll speak for myself, I don't like news like this because you all don't understand the personal hurdles we have experienced in business when we've tried to deal with people like PayPal or Venmo or all these other banks and institutions that are now starting to say, well, we can offer Bitcoin and sell it too. You don't understand, like, the hurdles they have given us. Like, they did not want us to succeed and be free in this Bitcoin and crypto world. So it's always hilarious when we see the next day or years later, PayPal is talking about offering Bitcoin now. It's like, really? So you frozen accounts, you blocked accounts, you kick people off for doing anything in the business. But now you're talking about possibly offering it. What's going on with PayPal and Venmo here? Is this a true thing? Is this a rumor? What's going on?
So a well-placed industry source told CoinDesk, my understanding is that they're going to allow buys and sales of crypto directly from PayPal and Venmo, which got a lot of people on Twitter excited because the next question was, well, which cryptocurrencies will be available? And last year, or 2018, sorry, they started allowing fiat withdrawals to PayPal on Coinbase. And then they had somebody from PayPal go to Coinbase and work. And I think somebody from Coinbase went to PayPal. So they've had a pretty, tight-knit relationship. In my opinion, they've been working on this all along. PayPal's just been, like you said, kicking people off, making sure people couldn't get their money sometimes. But at the same time, if they have 325 million people and there's only 3 million Bitcoins left, everybody can't even get one. So the bullish sentiment is there. We don't know when they're coming out, though, so that's the problem. They didn't actually say when they were coming out. They just said that it seems like in the next 3 months, maybe sooner.
Right.
So, it could be, hopefully it's not like some of the crypto companies be like, yeah, in 6 months we'll bring you a roadmap, and then 9 months later they still don't have it. So we don't know. But it is pretty funny to see, like you said. It's been 10 years ago,
right?
9 years ago when they said Bitcoin has no use case and is even worse as a store of value. That was the CEO of PayPal.
Wasn't the CEO of PayPal? Like 2
PayPal.
years ago, he was still, a couple years ago, he was still talking smack.
No use case. Yeah.
So 2017, up until 2017, 2018, the CEO and ex-CEO of PayPal had been talking crazy about Bitcoin and crypto. So again, 2 years later, turn around, oh, yeah, we're actually offering it. Like, market manipulation.
Yeah.
Now, PayPal has declined to comment on the plans. But one thing, a couple things I want to bring up. And we didn't cover this story the other day, but there was a story out there that basically says something about while Bitcoin and crypto is the future, the people who are in it right now are idiots. That's basically, you remember that article?
Yeah.
I can't remember. He didn't say idiots, but he basically said idiots in the nicest. He said you don't know what you're talking about. And the whole point of this article is that while the principles of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency may have sound principles, majority of the people who are already in it have no clue what they're talking about. And the reason why I bring that up is because of stories like this where you're seeing PayPal and Venmo might add crypto. We're seeing this price, I guess you can call it a small little, boom, even though it's been fluctuating back and forth between 8 to 12K the last year, right? But regardless, we're seeing stories on Cointelegraph and CoinDesk calling for a $12,000 Bitcoin price now that PayPal is getting involved and Venmo is involved. And the reason why I'm bringing all this up, and I'm bringing up that article where the guy said that, hey, while the technical side of Bitcoin and crypto sound, the people in it are basically idiotic, is because here's the deal. The war is over, people. Whether it's PayPal, Bank of America, Chase, Venmo, Robinhood, it doesn't matter the institution. Everyone will have Bitcoin. Like
you don't have a choice.
You have to understand
How many
that.
times we tell
Everybody's going to have it. At least the back end technology, or at least be using the same blockchain. There is no getting around it. We've been saying this since day one. Everyone keeps trying to look for a way. It's kind of like that meeting where Andreas Antonopoulos had with the Canadian Senate and Congress, and they kept asking him the same question over. This is 2014. They kept basically asking him, but how do we control it? In so many different ways. And he kept trying to tell them, like, you're not going to be able to control it. This thing is going to happen. There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
So to me, this is the same thing. And this is what the guy's talking about. The people in crypto are idiotic. If you're saying, oh, well, since PayPal is going to start doing crypto or Venmo is going to start doing crypto, I guess I should buy in or the price will go up. Then you are one of those idiots this guy's talking about, because that doesn't matter. They're all going to do it.
You might as well, you should have done it when you first heard about it.
They're all going to do it. There is not one company that will not be involved in cryptocurrency. Mark my words. Like, it's just superior technology. It has nothing to do with what you like or what you don't like. On a technical side of 2 + 2 = 4, or of using a calculator, using handwritten arithmetic, this is the calculator. It just makes sense. So, again, I wanted to mention that story only because this is one of the things that frustrates me when I'm waking up and seeing articles like Bitcoin on its way to 12K now that PayPal is picking it up. PayPal did not want to pick up Bitcoin. They didn't want crypto people. So that's influencing your buying habits. You're doing this investing or this speculation thing wrong here when it comes to crypto. I just want to point that out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. Because Microsoft tried to sue PayPal when they first came out. And now PayPal is trying to kill Bitcoin early on, and now they got on the wave. So it's all good.
It's not going to stop. What's going on? Mally Toxic Frog Juice asked us, what do we think of Acoin and the crypto cities promoting, apparently built on Stellar? So we talked about that before, actually. Mally Toxic Frog Juice. We had a whole shown it, but just a short version of it. I think it's a good thing that he's doing it. However, I'm always hesitant when projects name coins after themselves. That's my personal thought on it.
And also, who is the money coming from? $6 billion.
And also, he's the only black person. He's the only black person on the board.
Akon doesn't run it. Yeah,
he was the only black person on the board.
Maybe it may. Yeah, I mean, I think they have good intentions to an extent, but we'll see.
And as far as Stellar Lumens, XLM, I think of Stellar like Firefox almost. It works. It's new. Of course, some of the same people who helped make Ripple worked on Stellar, so it's a good product. It just remains to be seen, right? Who will actually pick it up and use it often or not. Mm-hmm. Gary J said, based in UK, just order your book. Look forward to reading it.
Appreciate that.
There we
Gary
go.
J.
Say what's up to Tonio. Tonio's out there in London as well, one of our crypto warriors out there. Mm-hmm. Lucky Lloyd said, I heard horror stories about PayPal. You have no idea, man.
Yeah, we all got them.
The good thing, though, I will say about PayPal, I went ahead and paid it before. Long story short, if you get scammed or something on PayPal and you owe PayPal money and they block your accounts, just know PayPal is not a bank or no federal agency. You don't have to pay no money back on it. Now, I've done it before only because I wanted to keep an account open, but just know, people, if PayPal is ever putting the pressure on you, like, hey, if you don't give this couple thousand back to us, we're going to close your account. Use a new email address and use a new account. It's that simple. What's going on, Madam Crypto? Long time no see. Milto, hey. Alec G, what's up? Say, I wonder if the next step for eBay is allowing people to accept Bitcoin now since they own PayPal.
Maybe a way to see.
Here we go, Alec.
We told you they're going to find sneaky ways
there go the money.
To find a way to make profit off Bitcoin. Yep. Even if they can't buy it directly, all the on-ramps are going to be by corporations. That's why you still have to keep the decentralized mindset. Get it peer-to-peer, put it on your own wallets. If you can't move it, not your keys, not your coin.
What's going on, crypto and culture? Dwayne Samuel, yes, we're going to cover that story here in a couple. He was talking about he saw 7-Eleven and Rite Aid are going to sell it too. We'll be covering that story as well. Bergtown Music Group said as more corporations get involved, politicians will have to create laws around the demands of their constituents. Yes, they will create fake laws on Wednesday mornings that no one asked for about crypto. They've been doing it. So we'll see. What's going on, S1 Dubs? Hello.
What's up?
I know the notifications, who knows? Whenever it's crypto or Bitcoin in the title, it slows down. So kind of going along with this PayPal story, looks like they're hiring crypto engineers, which is why people are starting to feel like they'll be shortly listing it. Right now, there are 2 public-facing job listings for crypto pros to go to work at PayPal. The first one is titled Technical Lead Crypto Engineer. So again, this is how people said, you guys must be going into Bitcoin. And again, this describes the person responsible for new initiatives for PayPal Global with a focus on agility, time to market, and innovation. The role includes designing, developing, and maintaining key crypto products and features targeted towards availability, performance, and scalability of PayPal services. So like every other crypto job listing that's going out there, is super broad. And they're just throwing that net out there. If you know anything about crypto, hit us up. We'll let you know if you can work for us.
Yeah, I'm going to apply for it just to see what they say. I do not have all the skills they listed, but just to do it. Now, well, the one thing about this listing, it did give it away early. But also, too, we've been telling people, outside of buying Bitcoin, buying crypto, if you work in this industry, these big companies are going to need you. Like blockchain research.
We've been saying that for a while.
Yeah,
right?
We've been saying that forever because we have people who watch us who have gotten jobs in the crypto world and blockchain companies, things of that nature. Working on Bitcoin development. So these things can happen even if you don't buy the asset directly. You can still form a whole new, you can get a whole new career and work for either a big company or maybe a smaller startup. So
yeah. One thing I want to put too is it's funny they talk about, and this is what we talk about when it comes to crypto. The last thing they put in scalability of PayPal services. This is going to be one of the biggest issues when it comes to integrating crypto to these legacy institutions. And PayPal, of course, isn't technically a legacy because it's still modern, but still is not on the crypto digital age yet. So I'll consider that one as well. But it's the scaling part. Everybody kept saying Bitcoin wouldn't work in 2017 because it couldn't scale and all that. And we're like, the networks are just getting congested because it's not used to having this many people. It's a technical issue. I'm glad to see PayPal's already talking about this. They're like, hey, we know we're going to have a scalability issue. If we start selling Bitcoin to 325 million people and we only get 3% of those people to buy it, we're going to have a scalability issue, right? So I'm glad to see that they already know that and they're looking for someone who at least have the knowledge of what those issues are and how to kind of get around them, right? These are technical issues, so it's not like a one-word answer, but for someone who at least has the knowledge and can talk about 2017 and say, hey, we saw scalability issues on the Bitcoin blockchain, and these are some of the improvement proposals that were put out, and this will work. You know, of course, SegWit, they can bring that same type of stuff to legacy institutions. And the second listing worth mentioning is for a blockchain research engineer to work within the company's research group. Quote, a newly formed group within the Strategic Technology Enablement Team. The Strategic Technology Enablement Team. I love it.
Jesus Christ.
I'm glad I don't work corporate,
Some of the
man.
names of
Oh
these
my goodness.
teams
That just messed up my quote.
Who came up with that?
A newly formed group within the Strategic Technology Enablement Team, chartered with establishing expertise and opinions on emerging blockchain technologies and their potential uses within PayPal. So basically, if you are a crypto warrior, I don't know why they say a blockchain research engineer. I love the pretty way they're dressing it up. But if you're a crypto warrior and you watch us every day, you can do this job. You can be a strategic technology enablement team
What is
member.
it, reading white papers?
Right? You see what I'm saying? Exactly, that's it.
And I mean, from an engineering standpoint, I understand the research, but you really can't
To understand the technical side.
Yeah, you can just look up open source code and just say, yeah, this is what we need, and just apply it, just patching it together. So yeah, it's if you've been around long enough, trust me, you can probably do one of these jobs. Maybe a few things you may need to tweak or learn
You need
about,
Google around for a couple things.
Yeah, you just gotta be really good at Google.
Right. Oh, there we go. Tony Morissette said, I'm a first-time listener. Happy to join. Thanks for having us.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Lucky Lloyd said, welcome to the Cramley, the crypto family. Welcome, warrior. Let's see. Somebody, S1 Dubs Lab said, PayPal innovation. Exactly.
Yeah.
What's going on, Tiffany from New York? As one of the warriors just mentioned, Liberty X allows Bitcoin purchases in cash at 7-Eleven, CVS, and Wright. Gotta give him a shout out.
Shout out Liberty X.
And you know what? Before Bitcoin Zay jump on the story, I gotta give him a shout out too to Bitcoin Zay, because I have personally seen him run through some corner stores, liquor stores, and gas stations, and have them selling Bitcoin or Bitcoin ATMs within 3 to 6 months. So to see him going there where people are like, wait, do we offer what? Mm-hmm. And then 6 months later, you see a crypto ATM at some of these stores. Liberty X is doing the same thing that you've already been paving the way. So I want to give you a hand clap for that too.
Yeah.
So what's going on here? I can go to 7-Eleven, CVS, and Rite Aid now and buy some Bitcoin? What's the word?
Oh, yeah. So June 22nd, they announced via Twitter their crypto ATM service will be available at 7-Eleven, CVS Pharmacy, and Rite Aid, like you stated earlier. You download the Liberty X app, which I remember Liberty X 2015. I remember going to a gas station to buy Bitcoin from them using Liberty X, and then they kind of increased from there. You can go to your retailer, you purchase in advance, and then you scan the barcode. Once you get there, you can buy between $20 to $500 worth of Bitcoin, and the transaction is processed in minutes. The fees aren't too bad, and I have spoken with some people who work for Liberty X. Might be a possible partnership there, because when you have people who want to buy it and they're like, well, where can I get it? I mean, you say Cash App. Well, I don't have Cash App. All right, can you buy it on exchange? Well, I don't want to do KYC. All right, well, can you download an app on your phone and go to the corner store? Yes, and CVS, 7-Eleven, shout out to you all. That's going to bring, people don't understand, that's going to bring regular people into the fold faster than you think once people see that it's available. So shout out to them. Bitcoin ATMs are going to be a great way for everyday people to get Bitcoin.
To me, if anything, that should increase the price more than the PayPal thing. Everybody's talking about the PayPal.
Well, PayPal is nice and shiny.
That's a nice and shiny
nice
one, right?
bow on it, yeah. But when you get down and dirty to it, people want to go be able to buy it cash, like $20 here, $40 there, if they can't use Cash App.
I think people are forgetting too, and to keep it all the way real, a lot of people are scared to use PayPal.
Yeah.
Let's not get confused with 325 million, users with.
How many people got 2 accounts?
Yeah, that's not the volume, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you said how many people got 2 accounts. I just mentioned if they try to lock you out and press you on one account to start a new one. How many people have started multiple accounts, right? Mm-hmm. So 325 million, that's not 325 million people. That's 325 million accounts. We don't know how many of those accounts are active. And I can guarantee you the overwhelming majority of those accounts are not going to just jump on crypto because they start offering it, right?
Yeah.
A lot of these same people, I know people now who have PayPal accounts who still aren't very comfortable with using PayPal, right? Mm-hmm. It's still kind of new, people. It's not your bank. It's a private company. We know that to be the same with the Federal Reserve, but people really don't know that as much as they can identify PayPal as being a private company. So we'll see what happens with it. Looks like Liberty X is being quoted. Their co-founder and CEO, Chris Yim, is being quoted as saying, now everyone is only a few miles away from owning Bitcoin and becoming part of its global community. Buying Bitcoin is as easy as scanning a barcode while shopping for groceries. There you go. And like you said, I can't wait
and I'm looking here now. I'm found some locations near.
Nice.
It's like 40 locations close that have Liberty X. So yeah,
type it in.
I mean, Liberty X is out there. 20,000 locations is pretty good. once you put it in these stores, that's pretty good. So yeah, good to see. And you can run up there. I might make a video going in there to buy it to show people how easy it is. But
there you go.
Yeah, I've done ATM videos and other ones. So if it's easy to do, I definitely want to test it out because it's all about onboarding. If you can get in easy, all good.
There we go. I can't pull up the locations, or I can just put this zip. So let's say Hollywood. Let's see what we get. Oh, there we go. Like you said, CVS, Chevron, 7-Eleven. Beautiful, people. Beautiful. This is pretty cool to see. There we go. We in business. All right. Is Ethereum price on course to $300 as DeFi coins skyrocket? Again, you talked about this yesterday with people on Twitter, I guess, saying it can go as high as 1,000. As per usual, it looks like Cointelegraph and Coindesk has been listening to us again. And it looks like Ethereum's Ether is taking advantage of Bitcoin rallying earlier this week and looks to break a key resistance level on the road to 300. Before you dig in this, my thoughts on Ethereum going to 300, Bitcoin going to 12,000 or whatever, is this is all fundamental analysis, people. We are basing all of these price predictions of the last 24 to 48 hours. And we know this changes every day, so we're just having fun with it today. But people are basing these price predictions. Well, 12,000 because of PayPal, 300 or 1,000 because of DeFi. Again, if all it takes is for one of these events not to happen on the timeline they say they're going to happen, and we are going to face an ugly dip. I can tell you now, if PayPal were to come out and be like, yeah, we're going to do Bitcoin, but not until 2021 or something like that. Watch that price cut down 800 to 1,000 overnight. If Ethereum or something with this DeFi comes out and there's some issue with it, I think the same thing will happen. This is Verge all over again with some of these. You know what I mean? This is, how many companies? I'm not just picking on Verge. How many projects can I pick on the name where it was supposed to be some big news thing coming out, and then like the news comes out or whatever is not big, and the price drops severely, and the people who bought in at these prices are left holding the bag. So I start all that saying, is this FOMO or is this real? Is this is DeFi? Yes, it's possible for the price to drive up to 300 to 1,000, or is this all just FOMO? What's going on here?
Yeah, FOMO. Very simply, because just talking about the price last week, it was, will Ethereum go below $100? People, you got to understand.
As I said, the 24, 48 hours.
And we see the news every day, so we see the flip-flopping, and we can see how if you're a new person and you catch up with the news, you may think to yourself, wow, it's a lot of volatility. It may go up, may go down, I'm stressed out. But we always like to remind people, if you look at it at a long spectrum, yes, right now it's just FOMO. Calm down. I mean, I think all of these assets are going to go up in price in the future as more money comes into it. So dollar cost average, and don't worry about it. Their argument that I'm seeing for a lot of these Ethereum prices for the DeFi coins is that they've had some of these DeFi coins jump 80%, 60%. And they're like, well, would that be what brings Ether forward, like ICO coins? Maybe. But will it go to 300? There's nothing to indicate that it will on any type of technical level, but fundamentally, at some point, yes, we'll see.
And that's, and again, people who've listened to us for years know that I am like big on the fundamental analysis. Yeah. However, what I will say is that neither one of these, even if they turn out to be true, right? If it turns out to be true with the DeFi, if PayPal and Venmo takes it and the price goes up, even if all that turns out to be true, to me, that's not fundamental analysis. Yeah. That is literally the rumor mill, one started by a job opening. Yeah. And this one's started by, a good couple weeks of work. These are like rumor mill type of deals to me. That's not truly fundamental. Truly fundamental analysis is, to me, is like, all right, I know for sure this project has developed this technical part of it, and they will be releasing it on this date. And once they're releasing this upgrade happens, they'll be able to add much more volume to it. To me, that's fundamental. When I'm like, I know these things for facts are going to be happening, whereas this is just like, hey, we think they might launch it, we think maybe not. What's going on, Kareem Austin? Thank you for the tip. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Kareem.
Kareem.
Appreciate that, brother.
I want to go to Timothy Grigsby. Timothy asked a question. You kind of already answered it. Will this cycle be different for Ethereum because it's not tied to ICOs that end up dumping their Ether? Will the DeFi pump be different?
Well, whenever you talk about dumping your Ethereum, a lot of times, if the DeFi coins or projects you're talking about pump, they will dump at some point. Like that, yeah. There is no liquidity in Ethereum that suggests it'll have low volatility for the next few years. It just came out. If Bitcoin's 11 years old, Ethereum's only 5 years old, so you're still going to have that volatility. It's in its early stages, but the fact they have partnerships with big companies, the fact that DeFi is not going away, and the fact that these big companies are jumping in. A lot of the old people who have been in it longer are running to decentralized finance because they're like, well, I don't know so much about how, they're doing crypto right now. But yeah, we'll see. I think if it's a pump, it's going to be a dump at some point.
Right.
Yeah, because nobody's holding these assets long term on a large scale. Few are, but not enough right now.
Great question and answer. And to piggyback on that, I mean, I guess it kind of goes into your investing plan or what your plan is. If the plan is in the space that actually believe in DeFi and long term, I think this is the future to financing, then can it really fail, right?
Exactly. Yeah, you should just be dollar cost averaging anyway.
Right, but if you're kind of just straight up trying to look for that kind of quick pump, you may have already missed it for some people.
Yeah.
You may have missed it. But the good thing is when it comes to the price of Ethereum and everything, remember everything is attached to Bitcoin, people. So for me, with my investment strategy, sometimes look at, is Bitcoin going to pump again? Yes. All right. So is Ethereum or some of these other guys going to pump again? More than likely, yes.
Yeah.
So that's something to at least consider.
Yeah. Take a deep breath, go drink some green tea and relax.
There we go. What's going on, Dark Spirit? Leroy Forbes, Bitcoin Jake. Yeah, he saw your shirt. I said the same thing today. Be connect. I was laughing. I was like, what year was this? Was it 2017?
Yeah, 2017.
This is 2017. Crazy.
Yeah, for the OGs who remember the scam of the century.
Hilarious. That was a scam of the century.
That was funny as hell.
Bitcoin Jake 09 also said, wait. If PayPal will do crypto, I hope I can accept crypto on my Teespring stores. Great point. For those who are on YouTube with 10,000 plus people, I know they also do the Teespring T-shirts and all that good stuff that's going through PayPal. So you're right. It will be interesting to see if PayPal accepts it. Could you also use Bitcoin through YouTube to go through PayPal for the Teespring? Yeah. Highly doubt it, right? Yeah. You talking about somebody going back on their own word. Boy, that would be crazy. All right. Alec G said, take that PayPal money and transfer it out immediately as soon as it hits my account. It's basically, I only keep a couple hundred in mine usually just in case. Milto said Cardano will take Ethereum smart contract space. All right, Milto. Hey, that is very true. We'll see what happens. I mean, as far as that argument, that's a true argument. We'll see what happens. I know people have some beef when it comes to Cardano, Ethereum, and EOS. A lot of people are, of course, on the EOS train as well. All right. It does nothing. Buy Bitcoin. Don't protest, says Max Keiser. Again, I know Bitcoin today was just on Max Keiser's show as well. Was it RT?
The Keiser report.
The Keiser report
on
show.
The RT network.
On the RT network. I'm sure you all talked about this as well. Basically, Max Keiser's coming out saying Bitcoin is the best exit strategy from financial oppression, other than protesting, which we shouldn't be out here doing. What is Max Keiser talking about? I know you're very familiar with this and his views on this.
Oh, yeah. So he's been basically advocating for black people to buy Bitcoin since 2011.
Since 2011.
Even longer than me. So, yeah, him and Sinclair Skinner have been around since 2011, talking about the subject that I wrote a book about, Bitcoin in Black America. So he basically said what a lot of people have said. I actually met a guy from New Zealand this weekend, and he said, when I told him about the book, he was like, why don't black people just leave the white people here? And I was like, well, economically, we're too intertwined. And Max Keiser makes his argument himself, and he thinks this is the best way to exit the system. And since Bitcoin is for everybody, we can all leave together if everybody would just get on board. But at the same time, if we have to lead the charge based on some of the economic struggles from before, that's why Max advocates for Bitcoin. So I think Max is doing a great job. I think, like I said, Sinclair Skinner, myself, others, advocating for any distressed community to use Bitcoin over the federal system. And so far it's starting to work because other companies are starting to pay attention. And this isn't stopping anytime soon. The train is rolling, baby.
And I love what you said. Any distressed community, people. Yeah. Any distressed community. If you are in a position where there are other people messing with your money or not listening to you, take your money and they will start to listen to you. Yeah. Right? Like, it's that simple.
Oh, yeah. And see again, the flip-flop Starbucks did? As soon as
they real quick, right?
You couldn't do so. And then as soon as people were like, oh, we're not shopping it. Oh, well, we didn't mean that. What we meant was, oh, trust me, these companies, if you lose money or if you pull it out of the system, they start listening. And we want banks to start listening. At least be better. Be better, banks. That's all we want.
I wanted to mention a couple of quotes that he had, and I know this will ruffle some feathers, but I'm sure everybody listening knows that I don't care. We're doing this in the morning. I ain't got nothing to do today. Tearing down a quote from Max Keiser. He said, tearing down a statue does nothing. Marching the street does nothing. electing people to office that you think are going to help you does nothing. None of that works. He continued, quote, I'm telling you as a white male boomer, Wall Street careerist, that I will laugh at that, as my brethren would do. It does nothing. Now, to me, these are some very important quotes because I do get how protests at least brings awareness and all that good stuff. But when it comes to actually having power, actually having the dynamic of power shifting or the balance of the economy shifting to different groups, that actually does do nothing. And I would even tell you too, maybe not as a white male boomer on Wall Street careerist, but as a black dude who's been around up and down on different financial levels, been in the military, been around these people, I agree with Max Keiser. I know these same type of Wall Street people, and yes, they think pulling down statues, marching, and all that is hilarious because at the end of the day, you're not affecting the bottom line. You're not affecting nobody's money. You are affecting people's feelings.
Yeah.
And granted, it will change culture and trajectory of culture and possibly systemic racism as we're battling here in the U.S. At the very end of the day, at like not 10 years from now, not when policies change, at the end of the protest day, at the end of the statue tearing down day, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So this is a person who's telling you, hey, I've already made millions, possibly billions off crypto and Wall Street. I'm very wealthy. I have my own TV network. I'm trying to tell you guys, what you said since 2011, what to do, and you're not doing it. So I'm just telling you from my point of view, this is laughably funny to me and my cohorts.
Yeah.
I think that was important to point out.
I've been telling people that because I said it's only two ways to solve if you have a bully. It's money and violence. And if you are not about to go start out here duffing out Wall Street bankers when you walk down the street, then you need to affect their money. That's the only two ways. All this other stuff is just pretty. Painting Black Lives Matter on the street. Changing the street names.
The Congress
taking down.
Congress taking their knee.
Yeah,
taking the knee.
It's all. Yeah, Congress taking the knee with kente cloth. What does that even have to do?
It's like, oh, that knee was cool.
But
but can we get some funding for these inner city programs?
Exactly.
Now?
And then not just funding like we're going to give $50 million over the next 10 years. No, just give the money. Stop trying to get tax write-offs. Like be sincere with it at least. So yes, the money. If the money is not affected, I don't want to hear it unless, like I said, it's only money and violence. That's the only way to beat a bully.
That's the only way I'm about this life. And he the only one got me on the money side. So really, I'm trying. But yeah, no. So for sure, I wanted to point that out because again, this is someone who's a very notable voice in the crypto community. And again, it's one of those things where you have multimillionaires and billionaires keep telling people Bitcoin, crypto, Bitcoin, crypto, and people are still like,
the dude with $100 to his name.
I don't know.
I gotta figure out how to spend this wisely.
I don't know about all that. So something to think about for sure, people. All right, last but certainly not least, hold on, let me get some good comments. I know we got some good ones. Harold George was going on and said, cash moves everything around me. Bitcoin Jake said, when Cliff High made a video on BitConnect with his predictive linguistics picking up failure, I knew not to get in BitConnect. While that's true, I also say, where has Cliff High been recently?
Yeah, the crib sleep.
Right. You are funny, bro. Also, one thing I do want to talk about with that Max Keiser sentiment, he also said voting doesn't change anything. I got to throw this out there. We do try to stay away from politics, but I thought it was absolutely hilarious when the Joe Biden thing came out about what is it? You see this recently? I know he's Joe Biden said like he don't want basically desegregation because he don't want his kids going to school with the animals in the jungle or something. I don't know. It was something about jungle and animals and desegregation. It didn't look right to me. But that's kind of, to me, it goes around with the whole politics of voting. It's like, well, who are you going to vote for? You going to vote for the guy who tells you F you to your face, but I'm going to try to get this money? Or you gonna go for the guy who says nice things to you, but really won't get you no money.
Yeah,
so,
or you could
go with Bitcoin,
or you could do with a lot of some of the Korean and Chinese communities and ignore them and focus locally on the economy. They have the Asian community has the lowest voter turnout in America.
I've never heard they say we need an Asian vote.
And they also have the number one median income in America. So number one in income. Lowest voter turnout. Ooh. Black people, stop letting them convince you need to vote for something to change. It ain't worked so far. I ain't seen the president.
I don't remember.
Focus locally. You spend 80% of your life within 5 miles of where you live. Focus on that. Can you even name your alderman?
I always say that.
Councilman? Who's your mayor?
Who your alderman? You don't know the alderman. You don't know the city council guy.
Get
out of here. You're talking about the president. You don't even know the police chief.
Talking about Trump is low-hanging fruit. They're never going to see it. They don't care.
You ain't never been to a town hall meeting. You want to talk to me about President Trump.
Do you even know?
Listening.
Yeah, exactly. Do you even know how to write a letter to your congressman? Like, these are simple things that can change where you live at, right around your corner. but everybody's focused nationally.
I give it.
Let it go. Let's start thinking economically because he's right. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we're young enough to see it, and be active, but we also have older people who've seen it. They saw it in the 60s. Think they weren't burning and tearing stuff up in the 60s, 70s? Right. And that was real protests when it was 90% black. I don't know where all these other people coming from. Like, this ain't.
I'm glad for it. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see when we talk about all of this, people. Everyone has different views on the topic. Everyone have different points. But at the end of the day, it still goes back to two main things. Unless you're out there really getting violent, you need to have some money to make some change. So we are advocating for that financial sovereignty here with that cryptocurrency and everything. And it's funny too, because when we talk about, we were talking about the voting and protests and all that, and I saw the memes about it. Hey, when the first Americans left the British, there was no vote to lead the British. There was no signs in the street. If I remember correctly, they was dumping tea overboard, and a bunch of people was getting shot at a harbor somewhere. All right, like it was not good at all. Okay, and if I remember, it was like millions of dollars worth of tea. You gotta remember, tea was like the thing back then. Tea was like, right now, if you were to go into a bunch of dispensaries and start burning marijuana, that was tea. All right, you couldn't just do that. All right, last but not least on the day. 5 surprising facts from Gavin Andreessen's Soaring Deposition. That's right. For those who don't know, Gavin Andreessen is one of the elite programmers working on Bitcoin since the early beginning. And it looks like he had to go ahead and do a deposition related to the case on Kleiman versus Wright, where, of course, Craig Wright said he was a true owner of Bitcoin. He was trying to get all the Bitcoin, or at least keep it, where the judgment of the Kleiman family was saying that, hey, he owes us some money. But this shed new light on the personalities of Craig Wright, Satoshi Nakamoto, and least of all, Andreessen himself. What were some of the 5 things going on in this deposition that Craig Wright pointed out? Oh, man.
So apparently, Craig Wright said himself, I am a fraud. But I am a fraud that is free to work on what I need to. So he said that to him, apparently. I mean, that's what he said. That's what he called gang. I don't care.
Right.
And
hey, you trying to stop me?
If I was Kleiman's family, if I was Kleiman's family, I don't even know how Craig Wright is walking around. But that's another story. Also, Andreessen says he may have had an early hint about BSV. Come on.
I think every developer working on Bitcoin, I personally feel like not only knew about BSV, but every Bitcoin offshoot out there, with the exception of like the platinum and diamond ones that some 18-year-old made in his basement. With the exception of those, like the BSV, the Bitcoin Cash, I think everyone on the Bitcoin programming side already knew about it personally.
Yeah, BSV. Yeah, and they said they were contemplating it, and it was in the realm of possibility, but Andreessen did not seem to have the answer. Andreessen also says his coding skills are on par with Nakamoto's.
Ooh.
He said he pulled out the Spider-Man meme, pointing at each other. He's like, we the same person. We just as good, baby. So, discussing Satoshi's programming ability, Andreessen placed the Bitcoin creator in the top 10% of the programmers he's worked with. That's such a programmer thing to say.
I give him top 10.
He's in the top 10%.
Not the top 2. He's not the top 2. He's the top 10.
Shut up, Goofy. All right. Among all the programmers, clearly demonstrating that he is not lacking in confidence, Andreessen stated that he is roughly equal to Satoshi when it comes to coding. That remains to be seen, but probably. But if you don't know him, or if they do know him, then I guess he can look at his work and
I like how nonchalant. It depends on what we're programming, but yeah, roughly equal.
Yeah, like, come on.
All right, I see you, Andreessen. Hey, we all got to work. Hey, Microsoft hiring, like you said, we all got to get this job. I mean, Satoshi gone, but if you want the next best thing,
I did work on it early on. All right.
What else do we have? It looks like Andreessen considered himself the best possible replacement for him as well, which makes sense if you think he can code on the same level. Of course, he thinks you replace him. Mm-hmm. Here was another one. And I think even the article, Cointelegraph, they even know what they're about to print out was like, should we do it? He basically came out and said Craig Wright tried to kill himself. Looks like in the spring of 2016, Craig Wright was supposed to move coins from one of the addresses associated with Block 9 to Andreessen as proof of Wright's claimed Satoshi identity. Instead, one of Wright's associates sent an email to Andreessen and others informing them of an apparent suicide attempt. Quote, all stop. Craig has just tried to injure himself and is bleeding badly in the washroom. Stefan is there with him, and Ramona and ambulance is on his way. Wright was found injured and subsequently rushed to the hospital. Now, again, I don't know the validity of the story. If somebody want their money, all of a sudden you got to go to the hospital. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I got your money.
I can't go. Meet me at the hospital today. It's like,
come on, Craig.
50 cents. Want my money by Monday. I don't care if you're in the hospital or not, right?
Craig. Come on, Craig.
But one of the things I will say, if this was a real suicide attempt, which of course you have to take it as such, you got to be careful about printing stuff like this. Like, this is some very personal information.
Yeah.
I knew it was me and you out here putting my personal info out while calling me first. Cointelegraph, we got an issue. And I know Cointelegraph know better too, because at the end of the article, they put, if you're feeling desperate or suicidal yourself, they put the National Suicide Hotline number on it. So as journalists, I know they even know what they're about to print. It's like, we get on the borderline. It's personal business now.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to see this. Again, the important part about it was that when the money was asked for is when this suicide attempt happened. So I don't know. What does this mean? Does he have the money? Is he suicidal? What is going on with Craig Wright?
I don't know.
Craig
Wright, yeah, I'm saying,
I don't know.
Craig Wright is so corny to me, man. It's hilarious. I mean, he stood up. I mean, it's funny though. He stood up in a group of people and said, "I got more money than your whole country." So
that's hilarious.
I mean, his mindset to me, you know, he's basically, I can do what I want.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, you are pretty corny to me.
Yeah.
Gavin and Andreessen pretty much echoed that.
Yeah. And it's crazy that this had to go to deposition. But this is stuff that is on record now. And you know what? Talking about Craig Wright, it's kind of like the kid you mentioned the other day who committed suicide after he looked at his account on Robinhood or something, right? Who saw he was $700,000 down in the hole. So I wonder if that was one of the things where Craig Wright was like, hey, I don't got this money. Like, and if this is the thing, people, don't call the suicide hotline. Call me. Stop killing yourself. Listen, there are too many banks to be robbed for you to just be at home offing yourself. All right, it's all types of money out there, people. No, seriously. Here's the suicide hotline, though. That 1-800-273-8255. Or seriously, join us at 10 a.m.-ish with the Crypto Warriors, and we could probably make you laugh off your trauma. Wire Spark said Craig Wright is a drama king. S1 Dub said replacement for Satoshi, question mark. Why would Satoshi need to be replaced? Weird comment. Let's see. S1 Dubs also said they found Craig with the ketchup on his shirt and a butter knife in his hand. I can believe that. Sergeant Crypto said he's the ultimate troll. He can do what he wants because he's white. Hilarious. Timothy Grigsby said, wasn't Craig going to kill Bitcoin a year ago or something? Yeah, he was until he realized he couldn't kill it, and then it was a valuable thing.
Yeah, then he said Bitcoin is mine.
Right. Yeah, we got some funny things going on. Let's see. Yeah, that's about it. Other than that, that is the show for today. Bitcoin's Day. Did you have anything?
Nothing from me.
All right.
Have a good Tuesday. Baby.
As always, people, I will not actually be here tomorrow, so Bitcoin Zay may be doing the show himself, or we'll resume on Thursday. But other than that, that's the show for today, people. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the continued support. Make sure you smash that like and share button so we can get this YouTube algorithm popping. And we will see you next time with some more crypto news.
Oh, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.